I took it, I couldn't do it different. Couldn't afford to stop and go, I had to stay consistent. Made up my mind that no matter what, I gotta win. That's why it's always me and never them. One shot for everybody living in the moment. One shot is all you get, so you gotta own it. One shot, you only get one shot. One shot for everybody.
But not far from where the Steelers' former homes at Three Rivers Stadium, Forbes Field once stood, we are at Pittsburgh's Acrisure Stadium. Today, the curtain falls on the regular season, and we've got a good one in store between the Houston Texans and the Pittsburgh Steelers. Here's a punter, Thomas Morstead, to get this one started. And we are underway from Pittsburgh. Wishing he had a mulligan. That's not how you want to start the game.
Not at all, because not only do you give up the penalty and good field position, but it just kills the momentum of your team as you start a game.
Running here out of the gun with Price. And they'll get to him after a gain of 7 to the 47. This defense for the Steelers, they were terrific last week in the win over the Rams.
And as in any game, takeaways are always a big key. They're always discussed on defense. There's an emphasis there, and they came away with 3 interceptions in that game.
A good run got 7 on first. Here's 2nd and 3. On 2nd down, a run with Price. And this time he's not going anywhere. They'll get him down right at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain that time, as it's going to leave him with a 3rd and about 3 to go. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description, because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Play action. Now Jackson. He's going to go for it all. And unable to connect. Incomplete. Now give them credit. They took their shot, but it's going to bring up 4th down. On 4th down, out is the punter, Cameron Johnston, to boot it away. And he was called on 3 times in the win last week, as his first one here's away. Here's Austin. Call it an even 40-yard punt, 7 though on the return. And the Steelers will go on offense here, 1st and 10. A handoff to Harris to begin the drive. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. It's rare that a man his size can't at least push forward for a yard, but they stopped him there for nothing.
You're talking about tiny? You're talking about the little guy back
Tiny.
there? That monster. Yeah, you're exactly right. And it takes a group effort to get a guy like that down and not let him find some space. The first guy in, he's got to take one for the team, right? Because he's just waiting there and holding on for everyone else to help him out.
And he's going to be brought down back at his own 6-yard line. Multiple players combined for their team's first sack of the game.
And they're picking up right where they left off with the shutout that they pitched last week. A huge part of that, this pass rush. They know how to get after people.
Offensively, good luck finding some answers right now. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. He'll let it fly for Austin. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. Here's Thomas Morstead now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. And he'll get this away into the icy winter air. Now it's Hammond. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt. And the Texans with great field position to start this drive as they take over 1st and 10. So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10. And a promising start as he'll get it up to the 29-yard line. A quick 1st down pickup. Good start after going 3 and out on their opening drive.
First play of the drive, a 1st down run. Well, that sets you up for whichever way you want to go. Do you come right back and run the football again because you got them on their heels? Or do you play chess match with them, break tendency, and go play action and go for the big shot?
And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. That's probably as simple of a throw as he'll have all game.
And good for everyone. Good for his completion percentage. Good for the receptions for the receivers. But you know how they work on that. They have footballs with no laces. So that as soon as you get the snap, you're just throwing the football. All right? You're not trying to find the laces and grip it a certain way. That takes time. Just get the ball and throw it. So that's how they practice it all the time now, too.
And they got half of what he needed there, 2 yards, and it'll bring up a 3rd and 2 more. Just not a whole lot of room to operate there on that carry.
No, not at all. They did a really nice job staying in their proper places and not allowing any lanes to open up.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the 1st here. 3rd and 2, here's Jackson. And the throw there going to be incomplete.
How about that? Red man coverage and decided to test them early. But they proved up to the task and forced the incompletion.
So on 4th down, Texan kicker Kaimi Fairbairn comes on. On the left hash mark, this a 38-yard attempt. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And it's now 3-0 Texans. Well, both teams kind of feeling each other out here. Now after 3 drives, we have a score with that field goal.
Yeah, they're still waiting for their breakout drive to come to them, all right? They're using the playbook well. They're looking for that extra section that says touchdowns instead of field goals. But they'll take the 3 for now and try and get set up for more later.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. As we grind toward the end of the season here, and they haven't had the season that they had hoped. So let me ask you to play GM. Where might they look to make some changes?
I think when you look into the upcoming draft, think hard about them drafting multiple offensive linemen. They've got to get stouter up front. And as a GM, it always tells me, Charles, this is a big boy league, and big people always end up winning games for you.
They go play action with Eason. He'll let it fly for Austin. And this is incomplete. Oh, it looked like he had a pretty good line on that one. That would have been a big play, but he could not pull it in.
But they certainly came out firing in this one, and while that one was incomplete, I can't imagine that'll be the last shot that they take in this game.
Eason. They'll get this complete to Calvin Austin. And he will have a Steelers 1st down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
All right, let's just go ahead and walk through this one pretty easily, right? Blast off the line of scrimmage, get downfield to a certain point, usually around 8 to 10 yards, turn around and make sure the quarterback sees your numbers and set yourself up for the pass.
A well-executed curl route by Charles Davis. And he'll muscle his way up to the 43 for a pickup of right around 5. The Steelers at 6-10 on the year. And they were winners their last time out, so they'll be looking to make it 2 in a row.
And so much about football, partner, comes down to mindset. Being in the right frame of mind, and the best way to get in that good frame of mind, winning. So they come in feeling good. They've got the home crowd behind them. And I think they're going to be tough to beat in this one.
Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off by Steven Nelson. And they take possession of the football and have it at the 36-yard line. When I saw the pressure coming at him, that just looked problematic. Hit him as he threw it, and the interception ensued.
Let me pay homage to the man who stood in this spot before. He always talked about how much pressure is in the face of a guy, and can he step?
That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Houston. A big play there. His 19th touchdown now on the season. And the Texans are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Fairbairn good with the extra point. And the lead grows to 10-0. So an early 10-0 lead for them now as they kick it away. Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And he'll be brought down right on the chalk of the 20. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. Still in the first half, but this offense has struggled. Haven't really been able to get anything going, not only in the points category, but in the yards category. We'll see if they can do better here on this drive. The last run got a couple. Here's 2nd and 8. Here's Eason off the play fake. A quick throw, but incomplete.
From the snap, he certainly looked like he knew where he wanted to go with the ball, but surprise, that guy was covered. So that took his attention elsewhere to no avail.
This will probably be the last play of the quarter. Play action. It's Eason. And the defense has it covered. It's intercepted. And the Texans are going to get possession of the football as time will run out on this first quarter of play. 10-0 the score after 1 on EA Sports. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. 1st and 10, it's Pierce. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Certainly a nice job there by the defense rallying to the football and getting him on the ground. But I think the play gets made by the defensive front. Because if they can't get upfield, their job is to go ahead and get low, almost get into a ball sometimes, stack things up, and make it difficult for the runner to find a hole.
And he'll get this pretty close to a first down as he's tackled at the Steelers' 22. Called an 8-yard gain, much better shape now on 3rd and just a yard.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
Heavy set out there on 3rd and 1. Pierce will try to pick it up. Well, they hit him in the backfield, and he will not escape. And that is not going to get it done. Now Kaimi Fairbairn out for the field goal try for the Texans. The kick by Fairbairn is good, and that will extend their lead even further. So the interception set him up with terrific field position, but 3 points, the end result.
Yeah, we can make this one pretty simple, partner. You always want to end drives with points. But that's one that you're going to look back on and probably say, we should have done better there.
And he'll be brought down shy of the 20, so the decision to bring it out of the end zone, not a good one. At their own 18-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. They're sort of seeing themselves spiral out of control. Let's see if they can get things back on track.
And this is where the coach is walking that line of being calm and really being firm with his team. I had one tell me once, when we were having a tough patch, this too shall pass, this too shall pass. And finally we kept having a rough patch. He said, but you got to do something to make it pass. And that's what they have to do. They've got to get some control back, get themselves reasserted, and calm things down.
See if they can get calm and reassert themselves here. And the running lane's non-existent in this first half as they'll stop him behind the line.
We think, Brandon, I like the intensity this defense is showing right here in these first few drives. They're not just holding the line because they're doing their job, but they're doing more than that, aren't they? They're getting a nice push into the offensive backfield.
And a great example right there for the loss on the tackle. And here comes throw number 1 for the backup QB. And that is incomplete.
I know this offense was expecting to do big things, but it certainly hasn't turned out that way, at least not through the first 3 drives. They're definitely going to have to put their heads together and start concocting some offense that'll move the ball downfield.
Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. Hammond now to return. They'll call this a 41-yard punt, 7 on the return. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3.
And now this is intercepted. My goodness. The safety, Terrell Edmonds, picks it. And the Steelers are in great shape here as they take over at the 46-yard line. This defense had 3 interceptions last week. They're on pace for more than that here, 2 in the first half.
Do not adjust your set. This is not instant replay. This is a defense that is locked in. They're essentially running the routes for the receivers and turning it into the receivers themselves, aren't they? I mean, it is amazing what I'm seeing because the reactions of those guys back on the back 7, phenomenal.
Off the play fake, here's Pickett. That's caught downfield by Pickens. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. 39 yards there, a big one.
And that might be exactly what they needed to wake up this home crowd. They haven't given them much to cheer for so far. And never underestimate the effect the home crowd with you can have on a game.
Inside the red zone here, they'll look to throw. To the end zone, but it's incomplete.
Oh, they were so close. That close to their first points of the game. Just needed to hang on just a second longer. But he couldn't complete the process of the catch through the jostling from the defender.
To throw on 2nd and 10. Pickett. And he just chucked that one out of bounds, out of everyone's reach. Maybe a wise call not to take a sack in this part of the field. It brings up 3rd down.
I'm really liking what I'm seeing from this defense because their coverage has been playing at a shutdown level so far. Even backed up late, they're forcing incompletions and fighting to keep them out of the end zone as the first half winds down.
In motion goes the tight end. Pickett, he's going to throw it again. Toward the end zone, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They've looked lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
And his kick is right there. It's good. And they will indeed get on the board here, but still trailing. It's now 13-3. So, Charles, they get to them with their first turnover of the game and then make it hurt a little bit extra with a field goal.
And anytime you give the ball up, what's the first thing a coach tells his defense? Don't let them score off of this. You've got to put out the fire. In fact, in 2021, that's what one NFL coach termed his defense. The firemen. Go out there, guys, and don't let them put some points on the board.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
And for this offense, Charles, you got to think kind of crucial here to put something together on this drive, because remember last time out they threw the interception on the very first play.
And you can't afford to let this defense keep building any more momentum. They're playing awfully well, and they're awfully confident right now. To me, it's time to attack and take some of that momentum back. But make sure you're selective in doing so. Understand where you want to throw the football and make sure it's open before the ball leaves your hands.
Now a deep ball there on second down, but it'll wind up incomplete.
Well, it hasn't been a banner first half for the defense trying to cover him today, but they'll take that one right there, helping force that incompletion.
On third down, Jackson. He's going to launch this thing way downfield. And unable to connect, incomplete. Now, give them credit, they took their shot, but it's going to bring up fourth down. Now on fourth down, it's Cameron Johnston on to punt it away. Now Austin. So possession goes over here on the punt. And that will come the offense as they take over. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. And after the field goal last time, we'll see what they can get here. At least they got points out of the last drive, Charles.
I never met an offensive coach that didn't want to drive to end with a kick. Most of them wanted to end with a PAT, right? In this case, a field goal, they'll take it. Way better than the alternative, which is a punt.
Yeah, but you met fan bases that wanted that. They weren't happy with that field goal.
I haven't met a fan base yet that wants to drive to end with a kick, other than the extra point. That's it.
Two minutes remaining in this first half of football. Off play action, Pickett. Firing quickly, but it's incomplete. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better, got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
Oh, he rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. Desmond King picks it, and the Texans are going to take over here up near the 40. CD, I know it's just his second year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6.
Well, at the end of all that hitting and hollering, it was a 4-yard run, so the offense is going to go back to huddle and feel pretty good about themselves. Defensively, you have to feel okay because you didn't let it turn into a bigger run, but the goal, shut it down for 2 yards or less. That's when you start to feel good about yourselves.
On second down, here's Pierce. And he'll take this one up close to about the 45. 2 yards the gain there, and now they're left with a third and about 4 for a first.
And this is why aggressive defensive coordinators love to blitz. It wreaks havoc because they end up taking their attention to the blitzers, freed up the D linemen to make the play.
Creeping up on a minute to play in this first half. Now it's Jackson. He's going to air one out. This is caught inside the 15. A big play there just before halftime. 42 yards. So how about this for field position after the big play? Inside the 15 now as they come up on 1st and 10. From the shotgun now, here's an inside give. And he'll fight his way down right around the 12. Now the Texans will burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 13 seconds to play in half number 1.
But that call makes sense because they've been throwing it well on this drive, and once again they show passing formation, showing the shotgun. Then they ran out of it. That's a nice play by them defensively, though, to hold it to a short game.
Throwing on 2nd and 8, Jackson. looking left side, and he's got a man. That's Johnson. Now a timeout taken. Perhaps a chance for one more quick play and then another timeout if they hurry. We'll see.
Brandon, perfect defense in this situation would have meant that there was an incompletion that would have picked it off. Okay, so they gave up the completion. But I really enjoyed watching how the defense stayed in sync, stayed in great communication, and as he dragged...
And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Dameon Pierce in the final seconds of the first half. And the Texans will extend their lead here just before halftime. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. So with 3 seconds remaining in the half, they will line up to kick this one away. And a fair catch signaled for and taken successfully. Final play of the first half. Here's Pickett. Throw left side complete. That's Austin. And he'll take this to the other side of midfield before going out of bounds. So we have reached halftime here. It's the visitors, the Texans, out in front. As we send you down to Orlando, where Jonathan Coachman has our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. And we welcome you back now. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin, getting set for quarter number 3 here. The Steelers going to get the football first here, trailing on the scoreboard as we are back underway on EA Sports. Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And his guys will get the football right at the 20-yard line. The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive. And you have to think, Charles, down 3 scores already. They need to play an almost perfect second half to have a solid chance.
And that absolutely starts with finding some way to put together a touchdown drive here. They need to be smart, fast, efficient, get the ball to the end zone, and do it again multiple times in order to have a chance to win this game.
Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, particularly running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
I'm sure this isn't a novel thought, but maybe run some simpler routes instead of trying to get it all back in one shot. Defense certainly appears to be ready for them. Try and get it back little by little instead of in big chunks.
Completes it to Austin. They get 7 out of that, so they're left with a 3rd and 3. Coming up here looking for 3 yards to pick up the first. Pickett right back to the air again. He'll let it fly for Austin. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down.
Well, partner, they've certainly played up to their top 10 defensive ranking this week. They've stifled this opposing offense throughout this game. This contest is now lopsided because of their efforts, and there's still a quarter to go.
Here we go. It's Pickett on 4th down. He'll let it fly for Austin. Oh, that's into double coverage and intercepted. Derek Stingley picks it. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back.
Well, I certainly think that we're seeing a big reason why this team has struggled to put points on the board so far, because too many of their drives have ended in turnovers already, and we still have almost a full half of football yet to play.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they had the big halftime lead. Their defense just, there he goes, right side. He's at the 50, the 30, 10. Touchdown, Houston. Juwan Johnson taking it goal line to goal line, 100 yards. Texans, as his guys have opened up a very comfortable lead. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and the lead is now 24. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And tackled at the 21-yard line, so a net negative there of 4 yards. The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. I kind of feel like they've reached a do-or-die point in this game, Charles. If they're going to try to pull off an impressive comeback, it has to start right here, right now.
Yeah, now they've got a final chance to get out of this situation, but they also understand they've got to move the ball and move it fast. In addition, they need to save as much time so they can get 2 more possessions.
Harris going to get it again on 2nd down.
And he stopped right at the 25 after a gain of 5.
That ground game contained again there, Charles, and that's really a big reason that they're trailing right now.
They give a lot of credit to that defensive front. That's exactly what they worked for all week, to try and take away the run game, make them one-dimensional. In the battle of game plans, theirs has been superior.
Throwing on 3rd down. Here's Pickett. Fires the out route and completes it to Harris. And he will have a Steelers first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion.
Caught that look from you there, partner. I think we're on the same page on that one. Just his first catch. I think we both thought he'd be a little more active in the passing game. Let's see if that's the start of them trying to get the ball to him a little bit more here in the second half.
Line of scrimmage, the 31 now on 1st and 10.
To the air on 1st down with Pickett. That ball caught by the former Toledo Rocket, Deontay Johnson.
And that's good for a pickup of 10 yards. And they'll be left with a 2nd and about a foot.
Pickett will look to throw it here.
Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. And fortunately, he's able to reel it back in, but it's going to go down as a big loss here on the play. And now the Texans are going to stop it as they signal for a timeout. It's just their first, so 2 remaining as they burn 1 here in this 3rd quarter.
So possession still theirs, but now they face a 3rd down. Pickett, he'll look to throw it. And he's going to be intercepted for the 3rd time thus far. Jalen Petrie picks it off. And the Texans are going to take possession here at their own 47-yard line.
Well, they definitely figured out something defensively at halftime, Charles. That's now 2 drives and 2 interceptions here in this 3rd quarter.
And I think the easy thing for us to say is, boy, they made an adjustment, didn't they? Or they showed him something different. I'm not so sure it's that as much as maybe he's just been impatient and forced the ball a little bit. In any event, as you noted, back-to-back interceptions thrown.
A gain of 11 to kick off the drive, and it's a quick 1st down.
First down, they go right back to Pierce.
And down inside the 35, he goes to the 32-yard line. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. They go again with Pierce. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line.
So that time they got the left guard with a hold.
And let's face it, in today's ball, you might have that 330-pound guy you're supposed to clear out of there. You might need a little bit of extra help by grabbing the jersey and trying to ride him out.
Rolling to his right. Oh, he'll want that one back. Incomplete. He doesn't drop too many in that department. 3rd down.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect him to have more completions to him in this game.
Off the play fake, here's Jackson. He's going to let this go. Back of the end zone. And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston.
Well, familiar refrain, a turnover leads to a touchdown, and that lead grows even wider now here in this third quarter.
Yeah, partner, I'd say there are a lot of grins breaking out on that sideline because, let's face it, they came in thinking they were in for a real fight in this game, but this one's been about as one-sided as we've seen in a while. In addition, if you're a backup, time to start stretching and loosening up. You may get some playing time in this one.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone. And he's able to get this across the 20, but not by much, as he's marked down officially at the 21.
The Pittsburgh offense at the line to start their next drive.
Well, we haven't exactly been treated to a nail-biter in this one, CD, and if they cannot score here, this one's pretty much all but over.
Are you saying that you feel like people are starting to think about getting out of here and maybe beating the traffic in order to get home or to their final destination?
Yeah, I don't think there's a whole lot of reason to hang around, especially if they can't score here.
Yeah, you're right about that because it has been pretty clear who the better team has been in this one. And in a league that we talk about every game being a one-score game as we go into it, watching this blowout, let's just say it's been unusual.
15 more yards there and quickly another first down.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today.
Jalen Petrie picks it off. And the Texans are going to take possession here at their own 33.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
Well, this offense, this team, they are rolling right now, Charles. They've scored on 3 straight possessions. You look at the scoreboard, and they pretty much right now got this thing on cruise control.
Yeah, and this is that time of game where you and I have to be prepared, right? Isn't this kind of like that empty the bucket time where you have to go into your blowout material and make sure we have some different things? That's what we're staring at right now, the way this one is going.
Historically, this is such a tough, loud venue, but you can hear a pin drop right now. A lot of fans long gone, not used to seeing a lopsided score like this.
And he is tackled inside the 40, not quite to the 35. Another nice gain. That's now 30 yards between those last 2 plays. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on first down.
Give left side for Pierce.
And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Brandon, I've got to think this offensive line has got some smiles on its faces. And I know it sounds crazy, but they practiced for this back in training camp. They knew they'd be in situations where there'd be extra defenders in the box coming after them, trying to keep them from locking down a game. Right now, they want to show the world they're up.
And a big loss here as he's taken down. T.J. Watt, a sensational effort by him, and that is one of the biggest losses you'll ever see on a sack. The Texans on 3rd down, 3 for 7 so far in this game. This will be 3rd and a mile. Jackson now. He's going to loft one deep left side here. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by they try a lateral on the return, and now the ball's loose. Well, do you want to unpack that one, or do you want me to?
You're the boss.
We get the interception, then really he's just too loose with the football on the return, and he crossed it right back up the other way.
I've seen this happen in an NFL game, and boy, did it cost someone. San Francisco at Atlanta a few seasons ago. Atlanta throws the interception.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Juwan Johnson with his second touchdown of the game, number 8 on the season. And the Texans are looking to make it 2 straight as they add on to this fourth quarter lead. Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And this one was over a while ago as they just add on to that big lead. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone.
And they're going to start in a hole as he's brought down at the 11th.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
The Steeler offense here about ready for their next drive. They turn to Harris to begin the drive. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2.
Well, partner, I know this type of running back. I mean, this size, this intensity usually gets better as the game goes on. And I can just tell you from experience, the first few quarters, oh, you're eager. You come running up there, I'm going to tackle this guy. By the fourth quarter, you're coming up and thinking about it.
And D-line wearing down fourth quarter. Yeah, that's not a guy they want to see consistently.
They lead big, and a major part of that has been how they've taken their play to a whole new level this second half. No points allowed since the break, and you can add another incompletion to the total number that they forced in this runaway contest.
After the incompletion, here now, 3rd and 2.
Back to throw, Pickett.
And he's going to go down. The Texans come at him and able to bring him to the ground.
Dropped for a loss of 7 by multiple defenders.
Here's Thomas Morstead now, standing about a yard deep in his own end zone. They call that a punt of 38 yards officially.
And the Texans will take over.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive.
Well, they don't really need the points here, Charles, given what we're looking at on the scoreboard, but they've scored on 3 consecutive possessions, 3 consecutive drives, and I'm sure that they would like to keep that streak going here and continuing to pour it on.
And things have gotten that way in the NFL, haven't they, partner? Because in the old days, people would, they'd get off the gas a little bit, right? But now, people continue to accelerate, but we'll see what they decide to do as they come out for this one. But the way that this game has gone, they've got to be awfully happy with their execution overall.
And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A big-time gain there on the keeper, using his legs to hurt him. First down.
How about that there? No frills, no additives, right? Nothing crazy. Just find a way to pick up the first down. A nice run right there.
Operating out of Steeler territory now. Here's 1st and 10 as they're down to the 29-yard line. They go play action with Jackson.
Gets the dump off to Pierce.
Bulldozes past him. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. A big play there on the catch and run. And it'll move the chains.
Partner, I know we're still in the afternoon slate here. Some primetime games still on the docket, but it's going to be tough to top this effort. What an offensive performance we have seen. They have been unstoppable from the moment we began this game, and they're not holding back. They're still throwing the football here in the 4th.
They certainly are, and let me tell you something. If you're old school, you don't like this at all. But in today's football, you just go ahead and savor it. Watch a team execute at a high level. Doesn't matter what the scoreboard says.
Now from the 9, here's 2nd and goal. Oh, Jackson's going to throw it. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete.
Well, up big here in the fourth quarter, up really big. That passing incompletion, I don't think they needed the completion, but, Charles, this is an offense right now that they're just having fun. They're clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah, you're right. They didn't need a completion. They certainly don't need any more points, but they're not going to turn them down. They're going to continue to run what they have.
And this will be caught, and the carnage continues. It's another touchdown.
When coaches come into a game preaching total team effort, CD, I think this is the type of ball game that they're dreaming of. It was pretty apparent early on that they were clicking in all three phases. It's been fun to watch.
Yeah, sometimes in the NFL you end up with matchups like we've been watching here. And when you go back to the early drives, you can just see that one squad was on a different level in this game. Safe to say, we have been disappointed in watching their execution throughout this contest.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
Austin elects to bring this out of the end zone.
And a pretty poor return as he will dive to the ground to give himself up.
In this position, trying to get back into the game, teams are looking for a spark from their special teams. That's not what they got, though. They got a setback, and they have a long field to cover if they want to try and put points on the board.
And he's got some space here.
72 yards rushing on 12 carries for him now.
We'll definitely see some open running lanes, and he's taking advantage of it right now, but that shouldn't be a surprise. Defense has the lead. They're playing for the pass first.
First down, and they go back to Harris. And that play went nowhere. Losing yardage. It'll be back at the 36. He'll lose a yard there, and it's 2nd and 11.
With his size, he's a tough man to bring down, but they do a nice job there stopping his progress and not allowing him to get back to the line of scrimmage.
On 2nd down, this is Harris. Looking for an opening, not much there. He'll get it to the 39.
Oftentimes we praise an offense for their variety and being able to hit people with the run in the pass, but in this game, how about what we're seeing from the safeties? They are all over the field. Doesn't matter if they threw it or if they're trying to run it.
I don't think we've ever awarded an MVU. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack.
This